Hello, Periscope people! I am here on a lovely, gorgeous day on a Monday at lunchtime in the UK. Don't know what time it is where you are, but here I am. And today I have decided to talk about behaviour and how we can change that. So lots of people come to me and ask, um, they have a thing that they want to talk about, but they're really not sure how to change that, or how they would love to change it but don't have the skills to think about how to do it differently. So the first thing that you really want to do is to look at what it is that you really want to change. So get underneath that behaviour. So what it is it the actual behaviour itself? So let's not talk about in hypothetical terms. Let's think about it in terms of when I speak to my my brother-in-law. He really winds me up. I really want to do that differently. So how do we change that behaviour? Well, so the first thing that we need to do with any behaviour is to own it. Own it. Take responsibility for who you are, rather than what lots of people do is, he makes me feel like this, or she makes me do this, or so you have no responsibility whatsoever in this behaviour happening. So lesson number one, people, is that responsibility. It is your responsibility of how you feel about this. Because the only thing that you can change about that is you. You can ask somebody to behave differently. You can say, please don't do that. Please don't speak to me like that. Please don't do that, blah, 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 blah. But the one thing I know that you can do is change you. Change the way you deal with it. Change the way you feel about it. Change the actions that you can do to stop it happening, to look at how it differently, to make it, to look out for yourself. So in circumstances, so let's go back to the scenario of the brother-in-law who winds me up. I don't have a brother-in-law, so I can talk about that. And so it could be the circumstances, it could be the situation, it could be the conversation, it could be where you put yourself in that situation. So you need to look at what it is that you can change about it. So it might be that you can't change him. So you can't change that person or who they are, but you can change how you be more intentional about that situation. So if you know that he really winds you up when he talks about your child's behaviour, then what you do is that you talk about something that he enjoys talking about. Or when he starts talking about something, you clearly pattern interrupt it. You completely change the situation, change the conversation, just blatantly, and just change it. Turning it to say, wow, are you going on holiday this year? When he talks about something that you don't want to talk about. And he will think, okay, she doesn't want to talk about that. Okay. And you may well go back to it and you go, oh, so well, we're going, blah, blah, blah. So you pattern interrupt it. You you completely, blatantly change the conversation to a conversation that you feel more comfortable with. So that's one way of doing it. So pattern interrupt is a great way to change a behaviour. Another way is to look at who you are about it. So if you know that you're going to go into a situation where you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, you might feel a little bit hesitant about it, you think, okay, what do I need to do to be able to make myself feel good about this situation? I can presuppose what could happen, and if these things could happen, what can I do? So, when people talk about like putting your big girl's knickers on or your big boy pants on, whichever you choose, both are just as good as each other. They can be a physical thing, or they can just be a mental thing. You just go, right, okay, what do I need to do to step up to make myself feel good about this situation, to be able to change this behaviour, change this situation? I'm going to take responsibility for as much of it as possible, so I limit the potential of it not going in my favour. So as an example, it might be a conversation with your boss. So how do you want it to happen? Have a few thoughts about how it could happen, and then think, okay, they may well say this, they may well say that, and think it through. Think it through, even write yourself some notes, some post-it notes like I do when I'm talking about things. And I make sure that I'm ready to to go into that circumstance. So I stack the cards in my favour. That's one of my big things for my clients, is stack the cards in your favour. If you want to change something, you want to be intentional about something in your life, you really do need to go, right, how do I want this to be? Make it clear. You are responsible for it, not for anybody else. You don't know how they're going to be, but you know you. I know how I'm going to be. You know how you're going to be. And we know that you can change that. You can do those things, but you have to be clearer about what it is, the intention, what's the outcome that you're looking for. So if at the end of a conversation you kind of think, oh God, I always feel shitty at the end of that conversation, have a look at that. Have a look at that and go, well, why is it that I feel shitty? What is it that I could do differently? Okay, well, what happened? Well, we talked about this again, and I didn't want to talk about that. Okay, next time when that happens, pinch yourself, stand up, need to go to the toilet, need to go into water, or hold on a minute, I just need to check something. Pattern interrupt yourself. Do it a physically thing or a verbal thing, any which way you can. Oh, I really need to do this. And it changes the conversation, changes the dynamic. It's very easy. These things don't have to be difficult. Find the thing that you would find really easy to implement, because it hasn't got to be hard. Nothing has to be hard unless you think it has to be hard. Then it will be. Okay? So lots of good ideas of how you can change your behaviour, how you can be more intentional about things, how you need to stack the cards in your favour. How can you do that? So think of something today, after this call, think of something that you could, a behaviour that you would like to change, something that you would really like to end where you feel good about it. Plan it through. Work it through in your head. Okay, we did this, I did that. Okay, how do I want to feel at the end of that? And then plan it. Okay, so I need to do this. I need to it could be I want to make sure that we get out great in the morning with the kids all happy and me feeling like I'm a good mum or a good dad. How do you do that? Okay, what needs to happen? So be more intentional about it. Rather than being a reactive person, be more intentional about it. So there we go today. Today's Periscope is all about behaviour and how you can change it. If you would like to connect with me more, come to my Facebook page. It is facebook.com/Kerry Hales Coaching. And I would love to see you there. Okay, see you soon. Bye, Periscope people. I don't know how to do it to stop.